I met a girl crazy for me. Then you said,
I don't know. That was about 12 hours.
It's impossible. You know, it's capturing lightning bomb.
I can play very chilling.
Do you think?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
All right. So, speed.
So what is the biggest challenge for you to portray again James Bond, especially because, I mean, you have to keep the same characteristics in the James Bond movies, but you have to present new things, new stories.
Patience.
Really?
Having patience.
Yes.
Sure. To do a movie this large, you're looking at a 25-week schedule. You've already done the role once before. It's not that you're coming to it bored by any means, because I enjoy playing the role, but because when you have such big action pieces that are in this film, then you have to have patience.
And what's the thing that you enjoy the most about portray James Bond?
Just going to work every day. There's always something new. And you get to go out there and be James Bond.
Yes.
You know, it's funny. It's a kick in the pants. It's, you're the guy.
Yes.
I grew up on these movies. I saw my first movie when I was 10 years of age, James Bond, Goldfinger.
So you didn't have any idea that in the future you would,
No.
one day you will be James Bond?
No, I had no idea I was going to be an actor. I didn't want to be James Bond. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was that age.
Do you remember very often the past times, I mean, when you were in your teens and you did some odd jobs, like in the circus?
Yeah?
How do you remember that? How do you feel when you remember those things?
Good. Magical. Time in my life when I was discovering who I was as a young man, as an actor. A time in my life when I was suddenly... What's wrong, guys? You lost interest? What's wrong? It's really annoying when you do this. When you talk and you're doing, it's really annoying when I'm talking. So just concentrate on your camera and then just do it. Muchas gracias. I know, but it's been happening. 3 interviews. Basta.
No me van a quitar el tiempito. Okay. So you said it was
So,
magical.
yeah, sure. I mean, because I never wanted to be an actor. And suddenly I found myself as an actor. And when you're growing up in a small town, a country town in Ireland, it's very Catholic, very religious, very... And suddenly you go to England, you go to the metropolis, and you discover something which is called acting. And you're shy, and you're fearful, and you're this, but there's something magical about it. And people laugh, and they clap, and they like what you do. It makes you feel big, makes you feel strong. And so it started, it went on, carried on.
You are not shy anymore?
Oh, I'm still shy, yeah,
really?
Sure. Sometimes, yeah, painfully so. But I don't know, I mean, there's, one is shy about many different things. Lack of this, lack of that. There's always somebody that's going to kind of shame you in certain ways. And, you run to the childhood's insecurities, and you go, but sure, you get over it, you get on with it, and you have to. But being an actor is very difficult. Some days it's very hard to stand up there in front of a room of 60 people and be this character. If you don't feel talented, and you don't feel lucky, and you don't feel centered. But that's the job. That is your job, and you have to find a technique and a way around that.
Yes.
Sure.
And well, now you're famous, you are good looking, you have kids, you have a family. So what else? There's something that you really wish in your life that you haven't had or you haven't done.
I'd like to write a book. I'd like to direct. I don't know what the book's about. It might be poetry and stuff. It might be just stuff. It might be whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe my life, maybe a few stories that I've half written in journals. I'd like to paint more. I'd like to see my painting be more articulate, find a voice, find a... What else? I'd like to direct. I think so. I think I could direct. I don't know. I'd like to build a house. I've never built a house. I don't know. I'm happy really right now. I don't there are certain things you want and you think about them. But I've never been one to say, I'm going there, and nothing else matters, because then you miss life.
So what do your kids think about you being James Bond? Because I remember when I was a kid, James Bond was my hero also. So what do you think?
I don't know. I think my 14-year-old being the most important age. I mean, it was it was a little difficult for him at the beginning, living with Dad as this character, James Bond, because ultimately at school he became James Bond Jr. But now he's 14 years of age and he's discovered girls, and some of his friends like James Bond, like his dad, and that makes life good.
Yes. What about the little one? What things in life you want to teach to him about the little one? It's 11 months?
He's 11 months.
Yes.
To like himself, to love himself, to feel secure, to be able to do well by himself and his fellow man and woman. Really.
About this movie, I mean, why James Bond is always a seducer, but he never falls really in love?
Well, like I told the lady before you, I think the day he really falls in love is the day the story ends, maybe. And if he does fall in love, I think you have to kill her. Because, I'm sorry.
But that doesn't happen with Pierce Brosnan in real life.
No.
No way.
No.
What do you think about love?
It's very important. It's what makes you grow, what makes you happy, what makes you creative. It's what makes you sad. It's just love. It's just part of life. You're not going to escape it. You shouldn't. You should embrace it, and it's important. I have someone whom I love very dearly, who's been, my companion for 3.5 years. We have a child. Someone who I dream with, someone who supports me, someone who I, support in return and want to see the best for her in life.
And while talking about also this movie, I mean, we have seen along all the James Bond movies, like this development of technology. What kind of crafts or toys would you like to have for the next movie?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think about toys. I hate gadgets. I hate them. I loathe them. I don't know how to use a VCR. Click, 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 click. I don't watch TV that much. I don't have a laptop. I have a laptop. I never use it. I don't particularly like gadgets. I mean, in a Bond movie, yes, of course.
Yes.
One adores the gadgets. And I, as an audience, love watching the gadgets. And as an actor playing with the gadgets, I love them. In real life, yeah.
You don't like that. What about this car?
Too many gadgets.
The BMW. Does really exist like that?
No.
I mean, what is a computer and what?
No, they actually made one up. I mean, they had about 20 cars from BMW, and they had one in the movie which BMW, the workshop, they extended the accelerator and the control pedals. So the stunt guy had to lie down in the back of the car. And he had a little video screen here. Hello. And he had a video screen here, and he had one there, so he could drive the car on remote control. It was amazing. I watched him, because I was learning how to ride the motorcycle out on the back lot. As I was on the big bike, and he was every day going around these little cones, very, very slowly, very, very slowly, for about 6-8 weeks, until he was just like 60 miles an hour. Could take it out there, drive it, and all you see is this car going by with no guy in it.
So it's not difficult for you to make your own stunts?
Well, you do as much as you can. I mean, you do the boxing, the fighting. I like doing all that. It's great fun. I box and kickbox and do stuff like that. Not for just for an aerobic exercise.
Yes.
But there are certain things you can't do. You know, on the motorcycle, there was a wonderful stunt double called Jean-Pierre. He holds the record for the world's longest wheelie, 8 hours doing a wheelie. Anyway, Jean-Pierre was magnificent. Actually, I made him look good.
Well,
So,
thanks a lot. I think
Well.
this movie is going to be a very, very successful. Thank you very much.
okay,
Pierce.
thanks. Nice to meet you.